Hello and welcome to Bedtime Story with Miss Anna. Are you ready to go to sleep? Kiss your mommy, kiss your daddy. It's time for story time. Tonight we have one more book of the I Am series. I Am Jackie Robinson by Brad Meltzer. Please don't forget to subscribe. I am Jackie Robinson. Sometimes it's hard to be brave. My mother was brave, and she liked brave people. When I was born, the youngest of 5 kids, she even named me after someone who was brave. But having a brave name doesn't make you a brave person. In fact, as a kid, I didn't like sleeping alone. I used to sleep in my mom's bed. Even when she tried to bribe me, I wouldn't leave. One of my scary moments came when I was 8 years old. I was outside and a girl from across the street called me a terrible name. I was so mad, I yelled a name right back at her. Her father came running immediately. He didn't like it that a black boy was standing up to his white daughter. We were the only black family on our block. I don't remember who threw the first rock. But the fight was on me versus her dad. I had a good arm, but no one wins in a rock fight. Eventually the girl's mother came out and broke it up. Like I say, the world can be a scary place, but even as a kid, there was one thing that always made me happy. Sports. And winning at sports, okay, that's two things. I love playing everything: baseball, football, basketball, soccer, marbles, even dodgeball. All the kids will get in a circle: white, black, Hispanic, Asian. We all play together. The rules were simple. If the ball hit you, you were out. I duck and, of course, throw, jump and throw and leap and throw. By the time I was done, I'll be the last one standing. But the truth was, they weren't mad at me for winning. They appreciated the skill it took. Those childhood games were some of the only times I wasn't judged by the color of my skin. Still, that didn't make all of my problems go away. At the local public pool in Brookside Park, you could only go swimming if you were white. If your skin was black, they locked you out. When people complained, they gave us one day each week, Wednesday. Every Wednesday from 2 to 5 p.m., they'll open the pool to anybody black, Mexican, or Asian. So, how do you win when you feel like you are fighting the entire world? My mother, who worked as a maid, showed me the answer. Back then, we were so poor. We sometimes ate only 2 meals a day. To help us out, every Saturday night, the local bakery would let us take their leftover. And the milkman, back when milk was delivered to your house, would give us whatever extra he had. We weren't the only ones struggling for money. My mom took the extra food and shared it with all our neighbors. That's how we got to be friends with everyone in the neighborhood. It was one of my mom's best lessons. When you do something good, it brings out the good in others. Plus, the more our neighbors go to know us, the more they realize how much black and white people are alike. I learned a similar lesson from a local mechanic named Carl Anderson. He saw the group of boys I used to hang out with. We called ourselves the Pepper Street Gang. We were a bunch of poor kids. For fun, we'd throw dirt clogs to cards and swat golf balls from the local course. When he saw what we were doing, Mr. Anderson took me aside. He didn't lose his temper. Calm as could be, he told me, "Jackie, I know why you are following the crowd. You are afraid they'll think you are different or chicken, but it doesn't take guts to follow the crowd." What Mr. Anderson said that day, it got to me. With the help of my pastor, I started hanging out with the gang. From there, I threw myself even deeper into my favorite activity: sports. And winning at sports, especially baseball, as a teenager, I could run so fast. A local reporter noticed that in nearly every game I stole second, third, and home at least once. In college, I became the first UCLA student even to letter in 4 sports in the same season: baseball, football, basketball, and track. But the same problems kept coming back. When the college newspaper wrote a nice article about me, one of my own white teammates purposely smashed it into my leg, trying to injure me. He was mad that the article said something nice about a black person. By the time I got out of my army, it still didn't matter. I was one of the best athletes in the country. If you wanted to play professional sports, you have to be white. But then, if you were the world champs, it meant you were the white champs. In all of the Major League Baseball, not a single team had even one black player. Oh, and did I mention that if you were on a black team, they paid way worse? The food was worse, and sometimes the only place you sleep was on the bus. But that was all about to change. Thanks to a man named Branch Rickey. Rickey was the president of the Brooklyn Dodgers, one of the most popular baseball teams ever. With so many players fighting in the World War II, Rickey had a plan for filling out his team. After searching all across the United States and the world, Branch Rickey found me. Mr. Rickey told me that he knew I was a good ball player, but he wanted to know whether I had the guts. He warned me that many white people would be mad to see a black player. On April 18, 1946, at 27 years old, I was giving my shot. At Roosevelt Stadium in Jersey City, New Jersey, I played my first official game for the Montreal Royals, the Brooklyn Dodgers farm team. You better believe I was terrified. I didn't want to let people down. Then at 3:04 p.m. in my first at-bat, I was thrown out of the first. Thousands of black spectators had come to see what I could do. Thousands of white people were there too, convinced that a black player couldn't possibly be as good as a white one. It was up to me to prove them wrong. The next time I came up was in the third inning. There were 2 men on base. The pitcher decided on a fastball. I can still see it coming, chest high, down the middle, but this time, boom! When the ball finally landed 340 feet away in the left field stands, no one could say that a black man can play as well as a white man. Some call it a home run, others call it history. That afternoon, in 5 at-bats, I hit and got on base 4 times. I stole second twice, and I scored 4 runs. When the game was done, I couldn't get to the locker room because I was so moved by fans, blacks and white, young, old, even the folks rooting for the other team, they were cheering for me. Still, that didn't mean it was easy. When I started playing for the Brooklyn Dodgers, lots of players didn't want me there. Pitchers threw fastballs at my head, runners stepped on me with their cleats, and clashers even split on my shoes. And they weren't just coming after me. They told me that if I kept playing, they'd hurt my son. Was I mad? Yes. Was I scared? Yes. In life, people tried to scare me. They wanted me to stop. They wanted to make me go away. Why? Because I was different. Each time I wanted to fight back. But for the real change to come, you need to lead by example. Being a leader takes bravery. Just remember this. No one is born brave, no matter how big or small you are. There will always be things that scare you. It's okay to be afraid. Just don't let it stop you. There is real power in each and every one of us. Use that power to do what's right. Use the power for a cause that you believe in. And most of all, use that power to lead and help others. I am Jackie Robinson. I will always lead the way, and I hope you will too. When others see your example, they'll stand with you. It's the only way the world ever gets a change. Together. And this is Jackie Robinson. A life is not important except the impact it has on other lives. Jackie Robinson. If you enjoyed the bedtime story for today, please don't forget to subscribe and share my videos. Thank you. Good night.